let's think of the Pharisees. What is it about the way the Pharisees understood the Old Testament and all the prophecies of the Messiah and all the promises attached that meant they could have the Messiah right in front of them and not recognize him?
That's an important question, isn't it? I think...
Because it makes me think, are there ways that I read I read the Word of God and there's things right in front of my face that are glories of his character and grace and his way of working? You get my question.
Yeah. I think a lot of it is that the way the prophets in particular presented the Christ or the Messiah, if we want to call him the way he was going to come. In Old Testament prophecy, you saw a figure who was quite majestic and powerful and was going to establish a kingdom that they thought would be immediate. And so from their vantage point, when a Jewish carpenter showed up, who, he didn't come from the right place. He didn't come from the right family. He didn't come from, he wasn't even born in Jerusalem, the center of where they saw God's purposes in the world. And so they couldn't put that together. Now, I think what we would say, well, let's just say what Jesus said on the road to Emmaus. He said to them, was it not necessary that the Christ should suffer before he was glorified? And then it says, beginning with Moses and the prophets, he explained all things concerning himself. So Jesus was saying, you actually should have known. When you read Isaiah 53 and you saw that suffering servant, you should have realized that the Messiah was going to suffer before he was glorified. It's pictured again and again in the person of Joseph, suffering before glory. In Psalm 22, suffering before glory. I mean, we could go on and on, right? They should have known. But he somehow focused on the power and the glory. And when they didn't see that in Jesus, they didn't assume that he could have been the one. And when he didn't save them from the rule of Rome, but instead died on a cross, they assumed he could not have been the one we've been looking for.
But isn't that what we do with Romans 8:28? We expect a material fulfillment of what is a spiritual reality.
Yes. We're unwilling to wait for the glory of God.
Yeah.
Right?